How many of you guys or your parents have judged someone with tattoos? Maybe you thought they were a bad influence or just destroying their bodies. People every day get tattoos that have a lot of value to their life, and that also means something extremely important to them personally. For example, I personally have 3 tattoos, with all of which have sentimental value to me and my life. Today I'm only going to be talking about one of my tattoos, and that one is the first one I ever got. There are 3 main reasons as to why I got a lotus flower tattoo. First, my parents had just gotten a divorce. I was young and 16 and was going through a really tough time in my life. I also needed a reminder that I was strong enough to get through whatever life threw my way. And one of the meanings of the lotus flower is strength. Finally, I grew up in a family that had tattoos. My dad, my mom, my sister, they all had tattoos. And I had always admired them and loved them and always wanted to get them, even though judgment does come along with getting tattoos. So let's talk about how the divorce affected my life and how it pushed me to get a tattoo. My parents started going through the divorce process when I was 14 years old. It ended about when I was 16. My dad was when I was 16, he was currently fighting for full custody of me. And he had just won. And I really wanted something to remind myself every day that I got through what I needed to get through. That we were strong enough to fight that battle. That I was strong enough to go through 2 years of court custody battles and all that. So I simply just asked my dad straight up, and I was like, "Dad, can I get a tattoo?" And he was like, "Do you know what you want?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've been thinking about it for a very long time." And he was like, "Okay, what do you want?" And I was like, "A lotus flower." And he was like, "Why?" So I had to explain it to him just like I'm explaining to you. It's a reminder of that I'm strong enough to get through everything I just got through. And I wanted to be able to look at that every day and say, you know what, I did that. I got through this. And he was like, "Okay, I'll let you do it." So later that day, he took me, we got the tattoo and everything, and it was great. I loved it, and I still do to this day. I've got that tattoo 3 years ago today, so I actually love it still. The divorce was very hard to go through as a young child. It affects a lot of your life. At first, I had to go back and forth between my mom and my dad's house when they separated, and I did not like that at all. Me and my mom did not get along. I wish we did, but we don't. We fight a lot, and she was very abusive in my younger ages. She's not anymore, but she used to be. So I dreaded going to my mom's house every time I had to go. I was like, "No, Dad, no, I don't want to go." But of course it was the law. He had to make me go until he finally won the last custody battle when he fought for full custody of me. And when I found out that he won full custody of me, I was on cloud 9. I was like so excited. And that's when it really pushed me over the edge to get that tattoo. I needed it. I needed a reminder that I was strong enough, that I had just gotten through that. And a lot of kids go through that, and it's very sad, and it sucks, but it happens. It's life. The second reason as to why I got my tattoo is the true meaning. So when I was 16 and I was decided that I wanted a tattoo, I started looking up research on what I should get, because I knew my dad was going to ask me, what do you want and why do you want it? He wasn't just going to let me put something on my body for no reason. So I was looking it up, and I knew I wanted some type of flower. So I was looking up, I literally put into Google, meanings of flowers. And the lotus flower came up, and I was like, "Oh, that's very pretty." And I had just drawn a lotus flower. Fun fact, I drew my tattoo. I had just drawn one a couple weeks ago, and I didn't know what the meaning was. I just thought they were pretty. So I looked it up, and the two meanings of a lotus flower are strength and purity. Two of the things that I needed extremely in that moment. I needed those things very bad in that time of my life. Strength, I think everyone could use a little bit of strength in their life. But I, especially in speaking from personal experience in that time, that is the one thing I needed most. I needed my dad's love and strength to push back, to fight back on my mom, to fight back in the court. I needed strength to speak up for myself going through those court battles. I needed all of that. And none of it was fair. I was a young kid. I didn't want to go sit in court. I needed the strength to go sit in court. So that my tattoo is always a very important reminder to me to go and do what I had to do. I needed the strength to go do this, to go do that. And it got me through it. It got me through it. And I was so glad, and I still am to this day, that I have this tattoo. Purity. I take purity as probably a different meaning than everyone else takes purity. I take it, in my personal opinion, I think purity is you're a new, this is a new chapter in your life. You're starting fresh. So when I saw that those were the two meanings, I was like, well, I am starting a new chapter in my life. And I need strength. I need purity. I need to be clear and have a great next chapter in my life, because the beginning of my life was not what I expected it or wanted it to be. So that's what really also pushed me over the edge to get this tattoo, was the two true meanings of it. And once I told my dad, he was all for it, which was awesome. Go dads. The third point is how being raised in a tattoo-friendly family pushed me to get a tattoo. So everyone knows that when you turn 16, with parental consent, you are allowed to get a tattoo legally. So when I turned 16, my sister was 18. She had already gotten her tattoo. My dad had tattoos. My mom had tattoos. And pretty much a lot, everyone in my family except my grandparents had tattoos. So when I turned 16, I was like, let me guess, it's my turn. And they were all like, yeah, it's your turn to go. And I was like, I don't know what I want, until I found out what I wanted. And it was so funny. I remember the day I got my tattoo. It was spring break, sophomore year of high school. And it was just a group of people around me sitting there watching me get a tattoo. And I was so nervous. I was like, oh my God, it's gonna hurt. It didn't hurt at all, because I had all their love and support around me, that it distracted me from the actual needle going into my skin, which has prepared me for all the rest of my tattoos that I have gotten. But yeah, they were all for it. So a lot of people's families and a lot of the older ages, grandparents, older parents, they are against tattoos because they know the judgment that comes with the tattoos isn't the easiest thing to get through. People judge you, and it sucks because you have tattoos. People think you're bad, or you're destroying your body with ink, and that's not how God made you, this, that. Well, in my personal opinion, tattoos are art. They're body art. They express you, they express your personality, your life, what you've been through. Those are all things that, in my personal opinion, are great to express. And my family as well. And that's why when I said I wanted a tattoo and I finally was like, yes, I want a tattoo, they were all like, go for it. No problem. We'll take you. We'll sign for it. It was a great time in my life, and I really appreciate them being there for me. And I think if more parents were to do that, then more kids would do it with their consent. But yeah. Anyway, so to summarize everything up, I went through some pretty tough times when I was younger. I needed something to always be there forever and remind me of the bigger picture. I needed that bigger picture to always be there for me. The strength, I need that to be there for me. The love, the purity, the everything, I needed it there always. I needed to get my lotus flower tattoo, that because it meant something to me. I didn't care what other people thought. I didn't care if I'm walking down the street and someone goes, "Oh, look, that girl has a tattoo." Like, yeah, I do have a tattoo, but it means something to me. They had no idea what it means. And it didn't matter. It didn't matter the judgment that came with it. I didn't care. And I never did. So, yeah. I just think about, honestly, just think about what pushed the person to get a tattoo and put something on their body for the rest of their life before we start judging them. My tattoo is very important to me and has helped me get through a lot of bad times in my life. And that's all that matters. It only matters to the person that has the tattoo. But the judgment and the disrespect doesn't help us get through what we need to get through. So maybe just think about that before we go judging other people based on their tattoos. Thank you.